Welcome back to Yorion's Journal. Today we're going to be playing probably my favorite deck currently in Standard. We're playing some Golgari Ramp Control. This deck kind of tries to take both advantage of the strength of Golgari midrange with cards like Glissa and the removal package of Cut Down and Go for the Throat to make sure that you don't get run over by the early aggressive aggro decks in the format, while also having a very powerful late game that is sort of reminiscent or similar to that of a domain list, using up the Beanstalk and these large spells like Virtue of Persistence, Liliana, Gix's Command, and most importantly, Overlord of the Hauntwoods. This is one of my favorite decks currently in Standard. It's super fun. It plays like a control deck where you're generating a ton of card advantage using your mana ramp and cards like Fountainport and Sunken Citadel. This deck eventually tries to generate a large mana advantage and then use the very powerful lands in the format to generate more card advantage and eventually close out a game using cards like Restless Cottage, Fountainport, and Sunken Citadel. The overall goal of the deck is to survive the early game with your removal spells and Glissa, and then grind into a late game of up the Beanstalk and a bunch of card advantage off of your Gix's Command, your Overlords, and your Lilianas. It ramps, it draws cards, it's super fun to play, and yeah, we'll hop right into some games. Quickly going over the sideboard, we have a Cut Downs, Duress, Ghost Vacuum, another Cruel Cost Heist, so more hand disruption. Tear Sunder for the enchantments in this format. There's just so many of them. Malicious Eclipse to deal with some aggro. Render Inert is a cool tech card if you end up playing against a lot of the 4-mana demon that comes in with 4 oil counters on it. This just kills your opponent for 3 mana if they ever play one of those. We have Tranquil Throwback, the end, Aklazot's Harvester of Misery, again to deal with some aggro, Nissa, Ascended Animist, and finally Outrageous Robbery. So that's the deck list. We're going to hop right into some games and test it out. And we're hopping into a game against the Magical Smudge. I haven't played Arena in like a hot minute. I've mostly been playing Paper Magic. We're going to go first. And we have a Restless Cottage, a Fountainport, and an Up the Beanstalk. This is pretty keepable. Yeah, I haven't played Arena in a while, so we're down here in like low bronze. So hopefully we can still find at least some competitive decks to play against. And so we'll still have decent matchups. But yeah, so overall, again, this deck is just trying to generate a little bit of card advantage with Up the Beanstalk and 5 mana spells, stay alive, and then dominate the late game using our lands. So up against what looks like Mono White. Mono White's a tough matchup for sure. They play a lot of the Caretaker's Talents, and the Tokens deck is just kind of obnoxious for this deck to fight against because of just the token spam, and the Caretaker's Talents generate just as much card advantage as kind of our deck does, which is really unfortunate. So yeah, and we don't draw a land there, which is kind of sad, so we'll just pass the turn. We have a Terra Sunder for their Caretaker's Talent if they play one though, so that's good. Here's a Beza. We'll just end up killing this. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So with the trigger on the stack, we're going to go to kill it with the Go for the Throat. And then they shouldn't draw a card off this now, so they're just going to gain the life instead, which is good for us. We'll just play the Blooming Marsh, pass the turn. We're really afraid of Caretaker's Talent in particular in this matchup. That card just, it generates so much card advantage and stuff that it's tough for us to keep up, for sure. Alright, they make a couple 2-1s. We don't really care about the 2-1s. I don't really want to use my Terra Sunder on this Overlord because I just don't want to lose to... Because if they play Caretaker's Talent, I'm kind of screwed. I'm just going to pass. Yeah, I'm just going to pass. Let's get the Cottage out. And, yeah, we'll just pass the turn. Gix's Command can blow up both the creatures, both the flyers, so that's nice. And at the end of turn, we can always make a fish. And then they're going to pass the turn. It's fine with me. We're just going to make the fish. Go to 18, draw another removal spell, unfortunately. Alright, let's just get in for 1. And yeah, let's just Virtue here. We're just gonna Virtue away one of these tokens so that we aren't getting super pressured. We don't even lose a card for it, obviously, because Virtue just goes on an adventure, which is fine with me. Just don't want to, like, die to 2/1s flying in the air and killing me. Our opponent's hand's, like, kind of weird. So we have Go for the Throats and a ton of removal spells to kind of deal with this Overlord. So it's not that big a deal. We're just going to draw off of our fish and kind of wonder what our opponent's doing. So what is our opponent doing? If they're not playing talents and things like that, they're sitting on... They could be sitting on, like, the Emperor, things like that. They're not playing, like, Caretaker's talent, or they're not playing Carrot Cakes. They're definitely doing, like, weird stuff. So we're just going to play Glissa and pass the turn. They probably have, like, lay down arms and stuff. I assume this is dead. Yeah, lay down arms is fine. Don't really care about that. Unfortunately, they're getting exiled, so my Gix command can't really put in work here, unfortunately. Yeah, we're going to take our 2 damage. They're going to get their Overlord. And now the question becomes, do I just... I think I'm not going to use Go for the Throat and just Gix command to wipe their board and draw a card. Helps me. Ooh, unfortunate. Probably would have liked to Gix command, or probably would have. Alright, we're going to destroy each creature, and then we're going to make opponent sack a creature. We're going to get draw. Probably would have preferred to Go for the Throat there. Do they have Scroll Shift or something? I think Scroll Shift still would kill their thing, unless that exiles till the end step. But yeah, so we get a nice card draw effect there. We still have Terra Sunder to deal with the Caretaker's talents and things like that. Alright, let's start with Duress. We're just going to Duress them, and then based on what we see, we can decide if we want to hard cast our Overlord or not. Oh, it's just a ton of board wipes. Okay, so... Split Up plus Sunfall is really awkward. Maybe we're just gonna take the Get Lost here, because that's the only card that kills our Up the Beanstalk, and these 2 cards deal with... I mean, if we take one of the 2 board wipes, they just use the other on the Overlord. We could take Sunfall, because we know we can Virtue back our Overlord after we untap. So we play Overlord, they board wipe, we play Virtue, and they have to exile our Overlord somehow. Yeah, okay, we'll take their Sunfall. And we're just gonna hard cast this Overlord. I think, right? Hard cast the Overlord. Then they have to decide on the Get Lost. Yeah, we want to hard cast this because we want them on their turn to use their mana to blow it up, so that we can start working towards Terra Sundering it back. And then we haven't played a land for turn, which is nice, so we can play Underground Mortuary here. I think I want more interaction for their enchantments, because I think the card right now that beats us really badly is Caretaker's Talent. Yep, okay, so they're going to split up, and then they have the Get Lost. Okay, there's the talent, perfect. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we have 8 mana. I definitely want to Terra Sunder this, but I want to play my Virtue too. What if we just, like, pressure them with... pressuring them with our Cottage doesn't do a ton for us. I'm almost tempted to just pass. Because if they play anything that makes a token, I'll just Terra Sunder it in response. The only problem is if they play a land, but if they play a land and then I can Fountainport, make like a treasure or a fish. Okay, yeah, I think I like this plan. Okay, we'll just pass. They too are gonna pass. Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna make the fish. And then let's just get this carrot cake off the board. Now it's a lot harder for just like a Fountainport or something to get them back in the game. All right, go to combat. Attack for 1. So Get Lost right now kills our Virtue, which we definitely don't want to just Virtue into a Get Lost for free. That seems pretty bad. Let's just play our up the Beanstalk, try and get a bit of card advantage, try and find our land drop mostly. We didn't hit our land drop. We hit a Pillage the Bog, but I kind of want to just hold. Let's plot Pillage the Bog now. That way we can hold that card for when we need to find any out in our deck, basically, and it kind of will act like a demonic tutor. Here comes Overlord. That one they're going to make tokens with. Oh no, they're hard casting it, sorry. Okay, perfect. This is fine. We're just going to go for the throat, the Overlord. I feel pretty ahead, which normally this matchup I generally don't enjoy. I think it's pretty difficult. Let's fire up our Restless Cottage here and just like force them to decide how they're going to use this Get Lost. Okay, Get Lost the Restless Cottage. I'm going to tap it for a black. Yep, they're going to kill it. And, okay, I'm going to attack with my fish. And see if, alright, they're not going to block, which is perfect. And then we're just going to sack. Oh, it moved out of combat. Whoops. Okay, I wasn't supposed to move out of combat there because I definitely just lost a mana. Hit our land drop, which is perfect. And then, do I map here? I don't think I want to map here. I'm just going to pass. Go to 14. We still have Deadly Cover Up, which draws us 2 cards. We also just drew Lily, which is perfect. Alright, let's attack for 1. Let's cast our Lily, draw 2 cards. We're just gonna -4 to wipe the board. Perfect. We're gonna draw 1 more card, hit our land drop, play out Glissa, and then pass the turn. I really want to use this Pillage the Bog to find another removal spell to get rid of another Caretaker's Talent, basically. Alright, cool. We're going to plus our Lily. We will... Let's fire up a Cottage. Get in there for 4. Let's take out an Overlord. Go to 16. Then we're going to map a zombie. We're pretty far ahead in this game now, so I feel really good about that. We have a bunch of removal spells. I'm just going to play out my Overlord as a ramp spell to just get us more mana for our future turns. Trying to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 cards in hand. That's fine. We'll just discard one of these anoints to hand size. The board wipes are pretty good for the Overlord. We have 25 in deck. We do have to be a little careful about the amount of mana we have in deck. We're going to draw 3 cards off this Deadly Cover Up. That's fine. Yep, we're going to collect evidence here so that we can presumably get one of their better cards kind of just out of their deck. And they're going to scoop to that. Okay. On to game 2. This matchup's actually usually pretty difficult. We definitely want the Duress and the Cruel Cloth Heist. I do like the board wipes, the deadly cover-ups, because they let you threaten, or they let you possibly exile something like Caretaker's Talent, which is by far like one of the scariest cards. That and the Planeswalker is. Cut downs we don't need as much. Annoyance we can go to 2. We still like Annoyant because it gets rid of Enduring Innocence really well. Actually, we're gonna keep all 3 Annoyance. Cut one of the yeah, okay, so we're gonna cut an Annoyant. Sorry, we're gonna cut an Annoyant, add Terror Sunder, add the End, cut Glissas because Laydown Arms is really good against Glissas. Add Frillbacks, cut a Virtue because once again the enchantment removal is really good against the virtues like the Get Losts and stuff. And then in our sideboard, there's nothing else I really need other than maybe one more Glissa, but I like everything else in my deck right now, so we're gonna run this one because I think I don't like anything else left in my sideboard, basically. And by adding another Terror Sunder, we have another way of dealing with Caretaker's Talent. We have the End hit one of the Planeswalkers like Elspeth, or one of the big important creatures. Anoints deal with Enduring Innocence, and Go for the Throats deal with Mistmoors. Deadly Cover-Up's good for Mistmoor. So let's run this. And a ton more enchant removal, because enchant removal, Duskmourn just made so many good enchantments and made enchantments just so much better that you just have to have enchantment removal, I feel like, in this format. So yeah, that's what we're going to stick with, and we're going to see how it goes. And I do like this opening hand. Once again, we have up to Beanstalk. We have a way to interact with Caretaker's Talent, which is a huge deal. I generally don't find this matchup particularly easy, so I'm kind of glad my opponent's now mulliganing to 5. But like, their deck's so scary. Honestly, a good 5 could beat us still. Do we need another? I don't think we need another land right now. Glissa was not a bad draw. Glissa is more enchantment threats. We just need to threaten the enchantments. Rest in peace. Do I care? I don't think I care about Rest in Peace being on the board at all. I cut a Virtue, right? Like, you don't need Virtue to win the game with this deck at all. Like, so I'm honestly kind of glad they played that. I guess their deck doesn't have... a ton of, like, graveyard recursions and stuff. Is Glissa fine to play right now? I mean, they have to answer Glissa. They can't, like, just not play. I mean, I guess they can go lay down Arms Caretaker's Talent, but then they're not making a token, and we just Terror Sunder the following turn, so this is fine with me. Yep, okay. Well, we forced the board wipe, which is nice. We draw Duress. Well, yeah, we can just Duress them here. Most of their deck, I feel like, isn't... Okay, cool. It's Overlord. And then we're just going to play... Restless Cottage. Nissa, I think, just creates an XX, right? Yeah, so... They're probably just going to tap out and play the Mistmoor. Oh, they play Enduring Innocence. Okay, well, this is fine for me. This is actually great, because now they don't play that. We're going to eat the Enduring Innocence for free, and we're going to tap out and play Nissa. Yeah, we get to cast Nissa here. We're going to pay 4 life, play our Nissa, draw a card. We get to make a body. And then on our turn, we can even kill 2 of their creatures. I mean, we can kill Overlord, and we can kill one of the 2/1s. Oh, never mind. Well, we can just kill all the 2/1s. I guess we had Gix. What does Gix? Gix says, put 2/1 counters on it, game's lifelink until end of turn, just rage creature with power 2 or less, which is what we'll do. Yeah, okay, we can just cast Gix now. Oh my god, we're so far ahead. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna go put 2/1/1 counters, destroy each creature with power 2 or less, draw a card, put the 2 counters here. It gains lifelink until end of turn. Yep. We're just gonna keep plussing Nissa. Nissa is not when you play Nissa for only 5 mana, it's definitely not. Oh, I should have. Well, it's fine. We're just gonna call black because I cast a lot of black spells in this deck. When you play Nissa for only 5 mana, she's really far from getting to her board wipe, but otherwise, she can, or getting to her ultimate. When you play her for 5 mana, she's really far away from her ultimate, but otherwise, sometimes she gets to her ultimate really quickly and you just win the game. Oh, and we're just drawing nuts. Okay. We're definitely just attacking for 5 here. They also casted a spell there. Oh, they casted Laydown Arms, so they can't even Carrot Cake on this turn. Yeah. We just have so much interaction for what their deck is basically, like, gonna be able to do. I'm just thinking about playing around Sunfall and what the best course of action to playing around Sunfall would be. I guess the best course of action if I'm playing around Sunfall is just impend this creature. Draw another card for Beanstalk. And our opponent scoops it up. Okay, well, usually a tough matchup. Kind of smoked him there. So let's hop into another game and see how it goes. Okay, we're hopping back in against Nosferatu. Going first again, which is always nice. We have another Beanstalk. Beanstalk and interaction is great because Beanstalk fixes your hand and interaction makes sure you don't die. So we love to see that. Round 1 was against Mono White. We'll see what we're up against this round. We have a Pillage the Bog to go find what we're looking for. And we are... Oh, okay. I think we're playing against... What's it called? Like the Esper bounce deck. I forget exactly what people like to call it. But Esper Pixie, I think is the name. This deck's pretty cool. And it involves like playing really cheap cards that bounce your own stuff back to your hand. And then getting a ton of value and advantage for doing it. I think we just discard Demolition Field here. That seems pretty easy. We have a Robbery. Robbery, I don't know how fast this deck kills you. I actually haven't played against this deck at all. This deck kind of popped off after I stopped playing. I don't think we want to go for this. I think we want a ton of card advantage and value engines to like kind of win this game. So let's just pass the turn and see how this goes. They probably want to bounce their Pixie back to their hand some way and then be able to bounce their Hopeless Nightmare. I'm just going to take 2. Optimistic Scavenger, sure. That's the one that puts counters on stuff. I'm just gonna kill a Scavenger. Their deck tapped him out of blue there. I wonder if that was by design or if that was an accident that just what's it called did to him. The shuffler did, or the auto tapper just like kind of tapped him out of mana. Okay, nowhere to run. Yep, makes sense. Comes Storm Chaser's Talent to make a 1/1. Yep. Draw another land. Drawing a ton of lands is not really what I want to be doing here. Let's play our land for turn, and then let's pillage. We're gonna look at 10 cards. Find Deadly Cover-Up. An Overlord. So we can cast the Overlord for its impending cost. Or untap, play Deadly Cover-Up seems really risky. But it seems like also the highest value play. I'm going to take the Cover-Up. This is might be a mistake. Hard to tell. I might just get hit for a ton of damage by this otter, and I don't think they play a lot of just like generic creatures that just enter the battlefield and do nothing. Yeah, so Mockingbird, a pixie. Pick up Hopeless Nightmare, sure. We cast it, okay. Prowess trigger. We're just gonna pitch our Robbery. Definitely something we're gonna cut. Yep, go to 6. Alright, we're gonna play our Deadly Cover-Up. Let's collect evidence so that we can kill the pixie loops. Yeah, we're just gonna take the pixie. They have Go for the Throat and Defile Crypt. Okay, so their hand's kind of dead. And then we're gonna take all the pixies. Hit done. Their hand's not doing much, but they can always draw. They can draw like spells that let them get back into this game. Go for the Throat. Well, we're just gonna cast the Glissa. They'll go for the Throat it, and then we can Gix command it back. I guess that's like our best option. They can also buy. Oh, okay, interesting. They're not gonna kill the Glissa this turn. They're gonna Hopeless Nightmare to scry 2. They top 1, bottom 1. Okay, topping 1's a little spooky. Oh, they topped an Anchorage. Interesting. And we draw Go for the Throat to kill the Anchorage. I really want Gix command get back the Glissas, but yeah, I'm gonna Gix command get back to Glissas. So let's just return and then destroy. Draw a card, we draw board wipe, get back with Glissas. Can we grind out a very grindy, bouncy deck? So at some point they're gonna buy back this. Okay, so the card they drew wasn't very important. It was another land, okay. Will they get some free value? They do get some free value, unfortunately. Okay, so we're gonna start with a Glissa. And then we're absolutely just duressing them here, taking their Defiled Crypt. And then I will pass the turn. We have a removal spell for the Anchorage. They're going to level 2 this, pick up the Go for the Throat. That's how this works. I believe. Yeah. That way they can kill my Glissa. Okay. We'll go to combat, attack with our Glissa. They have to kill it here, yeah. I was gonna say, like, kind of have to kill my Glissa. I'm just gonna play another one. And then pass the turn. I'm effectively at, well, no. If they play another one of those, I'm at 2. How much does this cost? This costs 6. They're gonna play Optimistic Scavenger. Fire up Restless Anchorage. Okay. So we have to think how we use these. I guess we're just going to use them both, right? Anoint the Anchorage. Let's go for the Throat the Scavenger. Attack with the Glissa. Let's destroy the Storm Chaser's talent. Okay, we're kind of getting there. The start of this game was very scary, and my opponent has not drawn very well, so that helps us a little bit. All right, we are going to draw a card, lose a life. Okay, we drew a Forest. That's not a good draw. We would have liked to draw a Fountainport there. We can't go to 2 because Hopeless Nightmare will kill me. Destroy target enchantment. Yeah, not drawing any of our overlords here kind of sucks. We just want anything that'll generate card advantage. Okay, that'll generate life. So that's good. I'm gonna duress here? Okay, it's a land. Oh, I think my Glissa just has to stay back. Storm Chaser's talent. Okay. Trigger. They can level up the talent, get back a removal spell. Yeah. They're not gonna play the removal spell. Okay. What's in their graveyard? Nowhere to run. Storm Chasers, Optimistics. There's a Hopeless Nightmare, so I can Deadly Cover Up and call Hopeless Nightmare. So that's a big deal. If I fire up Cottage, it costs 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 left. So I can fire up Cottage. They'll kill it. I'll get their removal spell and wipe the board. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah. So let's fire up the Cottage. They're gonna kill it before I can even go to attacks. They're not. Okay, attack with Restless Cottage. Eat. Storm Chaser's talent, because I think that's where one of the loops starts. Okay. Okay, so we forced the board wipe. Nice. Or we forced their removal spell when we wanted to wipe the board. And we're still going to wipe the board because, you know, we could literally die. And then we're going to take our Daily Cover Up and our Duress here. Draw a card, which is great. It is another land, unfortunately. We're going to eat their Hopeless Nightmare because that thing threatens to kill us over the course of the game. And then we're going to play another Cottage, say go. And see what happens. They're probably going to level up their... Yeah, they get to level up the talent, so I'm not, like, out of this game at all. Duress. Oh, we're going to lead with Duress. Okay, it's a land. Fire up Cottage. Attack for 4. Just take the go for the throat. Hit him to 2. Pass the turn. Probably should have played the land. You almost should always play the land in this deck. It plays like a control deck. You want a ton of mana to start churning through your Fountainports and stuff. Like, you want to be... In the late game, you can be activating... Nice. Okay, we got there. In the late game, you can be activating Restless Cottage... Or, sorry, not Restless Cottage. You can be activating Fountainport 2 times a turn if you want. You can activate them both. Okay, what do we like and not like for this matchup? Definitely like Duress. Not as big on go for the throat. Aclazotz, it's another one of those games where I think it's just like the important part of this game is just being able to survive. I don't need robbery. Aclazotz just having lifelink will eventually get you there. And things like that. Again, Tranquil Frillback seems good, because I know that part of the loops is getting stuff back from your graveyard. Yeah, having not played this matchup a lot, it's not great. So, I like having 2 cut downs. I don't like having more. I kind of want Nissa. I kind of want Ghost Vacuum. But Ghost Vacuum doesn't seem great. Like, Ghost Vacuum just seems like a little more graveyard hate. Deadly Cover-Up seemed good. Maybe Gix Command is bad. It destroys each creature with power 2 or less and gives you lifelink. Yeah, let's keep. Let's just do this. Not knowing much about the matchups makes this kind of difficult. I know how their deck works. It's like looping Hopeless Nightmares, right? Like, that's kind of the idea of your deck. Glissa getting shit on by Nowhere to Run doesn't feel good. But we have Fountainport and Sunken Citadel, which I think just beats them later in the game. So I think I'm going to do this. The Mulligan cast Optimistic Scavenger. Okay. We're going to play Sunken Citadel on black. That way, well, we're going to play Blooming Marsh no matter what, so it doesn't matter. Oh my god. And then Storm Chaser. Oh my god, that's a big creature. There's some big Optimistic Scavengers. Well, they gave us a good one to kill, so that's nice. Blooming Marsh. I don't know what the protection spells look like, so I'm just going to kill it at sorcery speed. Hopeless Nightmare. Just toss this Llanowar Wastes. I'm just gonna play Glissa. Like, if that card, one of those two is a removal spell, I'm like dead. But okay, Shelter by Ghost. Yeah, it's basically a removal spell. It's the same thing as a removal spell. Holy. Okay, well, they just turned into like Azorius enchantments and killed me in 2 turns, so that's cool. We can Fountainport, make a fish. We're dead next turn without doing that. Alright. Yeah, I mean, we have to port, make a fish, board wipe. Anoint. This is Ward 2, right? Okay. Swamp. Pass the turn. Can they buy something back right now? This buys back instants and sorceries? Okay. Okay, well, we drew a removal spell. Oh, fudge. They topped them both. That's not good. Topping them both is shitty. Alright, well, we're gonna go to Anoint and just hope that it's not something super spooky. Lissa returns and block. Okay. What they keep? Hopeless Nightmare? If they Hopeless Nightmare, I discard Blooming Marsh because it's basically a tap land that doesn't do anything. Okay. Well, we're attacking with Glissa. And then destroy an enchantment. No value there for them. Cottage into Beanstalk. I guess we cast Beanstalk. I mean, they're not going to instant speed kill us. Do we use this Duress? It could be like Pixie. But like, what are they not playing when they draw it? So yeah. Oh, it's Hopeless Nightmare. Okay, we actually got a card. This is pretty criminal on their part. This is a removal spell. I mean, I'm doing this because if this works, I get a food. Let's just take the talent over the thingy. I don't know. That might be wrong. I have literally no clue. Draw a card, lose a life. Go to 2, go back to 5. Okay. I'm just gonna crack the food now. I don't think they could do 2 damage at instant speed. Talent, yep. We have Annoy. Pixie, bounce the talent. This is pretty good. It doesn't beat Gix, though. No, Gix is kind of crazy here, right? 2 1/1 counters. Destroy each creature with power 2 or less. Draw 2 cards. And we drew Shieldred, like... And we blow up that, like, oh my god. With 1 card, we just nuked their whole board. I guess I'm just holding up interaction. Like, a third Beanstalk is pointless right now in this matchup. Yes. Let's go. Quick 2-0 of Esper Pixie. Yeah, considering I've never played against the deck before, I kind of knew what it did. Maybe this deck just has a decent matchup into it. I don't know. Alrighty, quick little wrap up here at the end. I played 2 matches. You saw them both. It's getting pretty late here, so I gotta go to bed and stuff. But yeah, overall, this is Golgari Ramp in Standard. This was the deck Seth Manfield brought to Worlds last year, and I've been playing it ever since. We did a couple changes because of Foundations. I've messed with the sideboard a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm still finished messing with the sideboard. I do want to play this deck for you guys in the future, so stay tuned if you want to see more of this deck. It's super fun. It plays like a control deck. It's like, as someone who loves blue-white control but finds it completely unplayable in this format, this deck kind of scratches all the itches of playing blue-white control, and it's a ton of fun. I love being able to abuse mana bases better than anyone else in a format. I think you get ahead of a lot of people doing that, and overall, yeah, I think this deck is sick. It's super fun to play with. I'm going to keep messing with it, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in another one. Goodbye.